folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don, this is Rockin' the Country. I'm looking forward to this. I even have the appropriate hat on. It was a gift request from Montauk Ed. So you know what, I could have been wearing my Montauk hat, Ed, which I did on the prior one. I mean, I'm pretty sure I gave that a 10 even by a memory. But anyway, Johnny Cash's Highway Patrolman. Ed made a gift to the channel. Montauk Ed. He's in Montauk, Long Island, the very tip of Long Island. It's beautiful out there. Absolutely pristine. It's just nature. It's gorgeous. Thank you for the gift, Ed. Oh, and also thank you for the very nice comment you made in the, the PayPal, in the comments that you sent when you sent the gift. I read them and I take them to heart. So thank you. Highway Patrolman. Different beginning for John.
My name is Joe Roberts. I work for the state. I'm a sergeant out in Perrineville, barracks number 8. I've always done an honest job, honest as I could. Got a brother named Frankie. Frankie ain't no good.
Wow.
Well, ever since we were young kids, it's been the same come down. I'd get a call on the shortwave. Frankie's in trouble downtown.
This does sound familiar. I may have reacted to this a while ago because this theme and the name Frankie. Yeah, I don't know I don't remember where it's going though, because the songs I've heard once. All right, let's see where this goes.
Well, if it was any other man, I'd put him straight away. But sometimes when it's your brother, you look the other way.
Ethical dilemma.
Yeah, me and Frankie laughing and drinking. Nothing feels better than blood on blood. Taking turns dancing with Maria while the band played the night of the Johnstown flood. I catch him when he's straying, like any brother should. Man turns his back on his family. He ain't no good. Well, Frankie went into the army back in 1965. I got a farm deferment, settled down, took Maria for my wife. But them wheat prices kept on dropping till it was like we was getting robbed. Frankie came home in 68. Me, I took this job. Yeah, me and Frankie laughing and drinking. Nothing feels better than blood on blood. Taking turns dancing with Maria while the band played the night of the Johnstown flood. I catch him when he's straying, teach him how to walk that line. Man turns his back on his family, ain't no friend of mine.
This is so different for Johnny. I don't know when this came out in Johnny's career. His voice is strong here. Oh no, even though, I don't know where the song's going. I completely forget because it's been so long since I reacted to it the first time. But I feel things differently. I'm pretty consistent with my ratings, it turns out. But this is one of these songs where I forget where it's going. And I have different thoughts going on in my head than the first time around. The instrumentation is so unique for Johnny.
The night was like any other. I got a call about 8:45. There was trouble at a roadhouse out on the Michigan line. There was a kid on the floor looking bad, bleeding hard from his head. There was a girl crying at a table. It was Frankie, she said. I ran out and I jumped in my car. Then I hit the lights. I must have done about 110 through Michigan County that night. It was down by the crossroads, out by Willow Bank. Seen a Buick with Ohio plates. Behind the wheel was Frank. Well, I chased him through them county roads till a sign said Canadian border 5 miles from here. Rolled over to the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Watched the tail lights disappear. Yeah, me and Frankie laughing and drinking. Nothing feels better than blood on blood.
Bring it back.
Taking turns dancing with Maria while the band played the night of the Johnstown flood. I catch him when he's straying, like any brother should. Man turns his back on his family. He ain't no good.
That came full circle, where initially you think he's talking about Frankie being no good, turning his back on his family, going and doing whatever. And then he came full circle, brought it around to himself as a cop letting his brother get away to the Canadian border because he can't turn his back on his family. You know, there are certain ethical dilemmas that aren't that big of a dilemma. I mean, this would be one of them but it would be tough. I mean, your own blood, and then you don't know what happened in that bar. Some guy wound up on the floor, maybe dead, maybe, the guy bleeding and stuff. Maybe the guy didn't die. Maybe it was just a fight and the guy got knocked out and he's bleeding on the floor. So maybe Frankie wouldn't be in huge trouble for this, some kind of trouble for the fight, but his brother let him go. That's tough. I mean, sometimes when you go into, if for certain college applications, like grad school, they'll ask, what is an ethical dilemma you faced at one point in your life and how did you handle it? And there's no right or wrong answer. They just want to see your mindset, the way you develop your thoughts and so forth. And I've had a couple that I could rely upon in my life that were ethical dilemmas. And some are so picayune, so small, but they were big to me because it was about integrity. And I don't know, there's some situations, this is a much bigger one in here. And Ed, I don't know what you did for a living. I don't know if you were a cop or if you just enjoy this song. And it doesn't even matter in some ways. But of course, these thoughts pop into my head. I put myself in the position of the cop in this story, in this song. And it sounds like a real story, too. It's one of these ones where the places are named. I don't know if they're actual places, but it almost sounds like it was like in the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Gordon Lightfoot wrote that song basically from newspaper clippings and the newscasts. And so he culled together all this information about the wreck and he made a song out of it. So you don't even have to have personal experience with something in order to write a brilliant, iconic song about it. And whether that's the case here, maybe it was a real story. Maybe it was embellished and maybe it was completely made up. I'm not sure. But all right, I'm going to rate that song because this is just one of these country, almost folk songs that just live. Johnny just makes it live. I mean, it's all about the story. It's just so obvious. Anybody coming from other genres that's curious about why do people love country music, traditional especially, or non-pop, what is it? And they all say, just as I did, the stories. But then you get in, you hooked on the instruments in this one, like a mandolin. The bass was playing just underneath it all, you know, and then you get your songs with steel and the fiddle and how they're all brought in. And you're like, wow, it's not just about the story, but without the story, it ain't the same. Yeah, I mean, I love the way Johnny told this. The number that popped into my head immediately is a 9.1. So that's what I'm going with. Nothing oversold, nothing undersold. Brought full circle back to it being about Johnny. You turn your back on family. If he arrested him, he'd consider that to be turning his back on his own family, and he wasn't going to do that. And so his ethical dilemma was resolved. Doesn't mean he was comfortable with it, especially if the guy in the bar died, but he just let him go. There you go. So, all right. Montauk Ed, thank you very much, my friend, for this request and the gift and your your wonderful involvement in the channel in the past several months. It's it's a fantastic thing, and the fact that you're from New York, Long Island, Montauk is extra special to me because I used to go to Amagansett and Narragansett and the Hamptons out there back in the day, as well as Montauk, to visit the lighthouse and just see the end of Long Island. So thank you again, my friend. All right, folks, have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.